Welcome to Dental Success Beyond Chairside, the podcast that is dedicated to revolutionising the way dental professionals succeed beyond the dental chair. Join us for a unique blend of insightful interviews with industry experts and valuable tidbits of information to help you thrive in your dental specialist practice. In each 20-minute episode, we'll delve into a variety of topics, including HR, marketing, innovative techniques and systems, and AI, to help you transform your practice and unlock its full potential. Whether you're a dentist, specialist, or oral health therapist looking to enhance your practice, this podcast is your go-to resource for professional, personal, and profitable success. Get ready to go beyond the dental chair and discover what lies ahead in your practice journey with Dental Success Beyond Chairside. Welcome to today's episode of Dental Success Beyond Chairside. Did you know there are 11 ways to exit your dental practice? Most only hear about selling to an associate, corporate, or through a broker. But today's guest offers a very different approach. Craig Keegan from M&A Profits has led 7, 8, and 9-figure deals and now helps dental founders build scalable, sellable practices. He's also introduced a new co-op-based exit model designed to give clinicians more control and value. Craig, it's so great to have you here.
It is great to catch up again, Michelle. It is always a pleasure.
It is. Can you share a bit about your background and explain how this co-op model offers a new strategic alternative for dental practice exits?
Well, a quick summary of my background is I have been doing M&As for the last 25 years in manufacturing companies, health sites, quite a few. And I have been working in the health arena for probably about 10 years. That includes ambulance services, hospitals, nurses federations, aged cares, the whole gamut really. And now I'm doing dental. I've got a good basis there and really enjoy the environment. The people are just so passionate and inspiring. That's what I've been doing. Now, what I'm doing these days with the co-ops is fascinating because it has not been done. I am out and about all around the world. Nobody has done this in the past. One of the big issues that dentists face when they're selling their business or exiting their business is trust. They want to make sure that their staff are good. They want to make sure that their clients are looked after. They're very passionate and compassionate people. What I'm putting together is a cooperative that can do an exit together. That way, they keep control of their business the whole way, right the way through until the very end. And even then, they're still going to keep 30% of their business capital. I will show them a way that they can not just exit and sell their business once, but sell it 2 and possibly even 3 times. That in itself is a fascinating concept that they will not have thought of in the past. But that's what I do for them. That's what I'm very excited about.
It sounds very exciting and obviously, as you said, something that's never been done. Can you just go into a bit more detail about how you build that trust with exiting so that clients or patients have that trust, your team are looked after? How does this co-op concept actually work, please, Craig?
I think we need to step back before we do that. We need to scale their business. We need to grow their business. We need to make sure that their business is attractive to buy and attract for the buyer eventually. And the reason that businesses are not attractive as such is because they don't have all the pillars of a business covered. In a business, you've got about 13 different pillars that you need to have. This is any business. You need your accounting, which encompasses your tax and your CFO. You need your HR, your payroll, your IT, your legal, your purchasing, your property, your clinical when it comes to allied health, your operations or practice management, your marketing, your sales, your training, and certainly not the least, your coaching. You need all of those pillars covered. The reason that the businesses are not getting the value that they should be getting right now is they're not covering all of those 13 pillars. That's a lot for any business to take on board, especially when you're actually doing a real job as well. What we do is we work with them to get all of those pillars right. If we can show them and work with them to get those pillars right and make their business more profitable and successful, that is where the trust starts to come in. If you can't just talk about it and get trust, you've got to demonstrate it and prove it. I have a business which helps people work through each one of those. Not all practices are good at those or want to be doing those. So we can offload those to another business to take care of them for you. Okay, so that builds your business, that grows your business. Now, with the trust side, there's been a lot of turmoil in the Australian dental industry. We've had flotations and public listings that have not worked out, 53 sites that have been IPO'd and haven't really worked out that well. We've got people that use the term mergers and acquisitions, where they template a business and then they go and beat the living daylights out of it to make it fit into that corporate structure, treating the staff with disrespect and not showing compassion for the staff and leadership for those staff. Whereas what I'm proposing with the cooperative is the businesses still work as individual businesses, but we give guidance, we give leadership, and we have an agreement at the very end where once they've got all those numbers right, we help work with them to sell them to a private equity firm at the very end. Now, may I quickly go through the 11 ways that people currently can get or exit their business?
Absolutely, Craig. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, we'll start at number 1, which is sad. Shut down and walk away. That happens. And why does that happen? It happens because of death, divorce, accidents, all of those issues that we're just not prepared for. Distressed or fire sale, again, very poor results for the business at that stage. Phase sale over time. Okay, that can work out well if done correctly. Sell associate or internal team. Yes, I love that. That's really inspiring. Sell and stay on as an employee. Again, a good way to take away the risk and to still have the income coming in if you're working towards retirement. Absentee ownership. Excellent. Love that one. That means that you've actually got a business that you can go away on holidays for and the business is still going to grow. Fantastic. Sell and walk away. That's just a straight sale. And that's what most people do. They go to a broker and they say, here, sell my business. Well, the broker makes 100K out of that, which means that the buyer has got to put in that extra money. You're not getting that 100K. That's a bit sad. Merge with a competitor. Now, here we go. We're beginning to scale at this stage. But the number one rule with scale is don't scale until you've got all your processes and systems in place. If you try to scale and you haven't, you're just going to make your problems bigger. So all of those 13 pillars need to be good at that stage. Then we go for number 10, roll-up strategy. An investor comes along and they build a whole heap of different businesses together and then they offload it to a private equity. So how is that different to a co-op, which is a cooperative roll-up? Well, the difference there is that the investor will come in, they'll take control, and they will just make it happen. They will not have regard for the staff, for your people, your business, or frankly you. It is going to be very transactional. Whereas with a cooperative roll-up, what I'm doing is I'm putting in an agreement that we're going to sell in 4 years, and we all work to those timetables. And people say to me, what happens if someone doesn't want to sell? Fine. That's okay. We've got their stuff, we've built their business. The choice is they can have either a 5 or 6 times multiple by themselves, where they can sell their business for 5 or 6 times, or they can come along with a cooperative roll-up and they'll get 8 times instead. Not going to force anybody into getting those extra 3 times multiples there. If they don't want to do it, that's fine. There's no point forcing someone into coming along on the journey. It's an invitation only. It's not a forced sale. And that's what I mean. They keep control of their business all the way through. The last thing that I want is a business that is uncooperative. Hence, mine is a cooperative roll-up. I don't want an uncooperative. I want everybody to be happy. I want everybody to come along on the journey and be successful at the end. That's the difference between the roll-up strategy and the cooperative roll-up strategy.
Excellent. So what you're saying is the co-op strategy is outsourced with looking at those 13 pillars so that the dentists and the associates can concentrate on what they do best, which is obviously practicing dentistry. Then you look at how those 13 pillars are working, and then you'll work with the owners to make sure it's very bespoke to them. Then look at being able to sell it to a private equity firm in sort of 4 years' time.
That's right, but there's some really important things there, and that is some practice management people, which I know you know a lot about, like doing some parts of the job but don't like doing other parts of the job. We're all human. We all have those things. So there will be opportunities to progress. If we find someone that is passionate and great at a particular role, they might be an area person for it. So instead of just working at one practice, they might take over 5 or 10 practices and work with that instead. So it gives them career development, career progression, which they're not going to get at a single practice. As example, my CEO, he owns 2 practices. He is a qualified dentist, but he doesn't practice. He is an entrepreneur, so he owns 2 practices. He doesn't want to be a dentist anymore, but he does want to enhance and grow his entrepreneurial skills. Therefore, he's the CEO, and he will take care of the businesses that come on board and work with them. We're going to have people that are great at purchasing and have a real passion for it rather than, oh, we've got to do that again this week. So those purchasing people, they'll be able to take over an area, a group of practices to help them out. It's about giving people a future, possibilities to grow that they never will have in a single practice. That's what I love as well.
When you're talking about these scalable practices, it's turning into multi-practices, or is it scaling within the same practice?
It is both.
Location.
You've got to have the scaling right,
Yes.
the business right within the single practice, because we want them to be profitable. We want them to be valuable and successful. That way, they're going to come along on the journey with us, because at the end of the journey, we're going to have 30 practices. We want everybody to come along and enjoy the rewards of those efforts.
Just to clarify something, Craig, sorry, I'm just trying to get it in my
No, go for it.
So with this co-op, are you working with multiple different practice owners to perhaps have a purchasing officer, I suppose, if you want to call it that? They negotiate supplies and then you can go through them for supplies, but they're doing a lot of different practices. So for each pillar, you might have one department that's looking after a multitude of practices. Is that right? As in different owned practices?
That's correct, yes. Our goal is to let people do what they do best and what they're passionate about. Some people are just not passionate about purchasing. They do it because they have to, not because they're great at it and they're passionate about it. But they're very good at other things. They might be good at other areas, other parts of the practice management side of things. Let them focus in on those and grow the numbers, have the time to be better at it and write the processes, get the procedures right to make their businesses more valuable.
Does the practice still maintain their personnel files and things within the practice, or does the HR
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, right.
Absolutely.
And then
the practices are still running as individual practices up until the point where we say, okay, we've got all the numbers right, we've got the quantity of practices we need, we're ready to hit the green button now and make all this acquisitions happen. So then we'll just do it all in one big swoop and make it all happen.
Excellent. Now, you talked about the sales pillar, which is quite important, I feel. A lot of dentists go, no, we're not into sales. But
really?
Essentially, I know. So how does your sales department work, Craig?
I think you just answered that question already. We're not into sales. Well, I'm sorry, that is an essential component. What we will do is say, okay, that is obviously isn't your strength. How about we move it over here to our back end? We've got really good people that are focused in on that. We will bring in the coach as well, because the sales starts as soon as the person walks in the door. When they sit down, when they're in the seat in the back room as well, there's sales all the way through there. It's just a matter of education and coaching as well. But there is the marketing as well. I'm getting the people in that front door.
Excellent. Is there anything, do you think, that we've missed that we need to talk about with our listeners?
I read your post today, and I think that is really important. Integrity, teamwork, respect, and innovation. All of those are the foundations of what we're doing here.
Yes.
They have to be the foundations. There is more to exiting your business than going to a broker. And when do you start to exit your business? Start from the day you buy it.
Exactly.
That's the day. It's the same old story of when's the best time to plant an apple tree? 20 years ago? Or if not today.
Exactly.
So start today. Start to build your processes so that you don't fall into the distressed or fire sale, the shut down and walk away. The proverbial bus on the way home today. We want you to start planning today if you do nothing else.
I think that is a great summary, Craig. Yes, definitely start today to sell tomorrow, to sell 5, 10, 20 years down the track. Setting up those systems is those foundations for success. Thank you so much for sharing your expertise with us today. We really appreciate it. For more information about Craig, M&A Profits, he also has some podcasts. Please see our show notes. Thank you so much again, Craig. Really appreciate it.
It's been wonderful, Michelle. Great talking with a professional in the industry.
Thank you. Bye. In our next episode, we'll continue the conversation around exiting your practice, this time from the broker's perspective. I'll be joined by Brad Potter, a highly awarded business broker who specialises in healthcare practices. Brad has helped hundreds of practice owners through successful sales and knows exactly what buyers are looking for. We'll talk about what owners need to be thinking about well before they're ready to sell and how to maximise the value of their practice. Thanks for listening to Dental Success Beyond Chairside. See you next time.